My fellow Americans, happy 4th of July weekend. Welcome to your forecast for Monday, June 27th through Sunday, July 3rd. Even though the 4th of July is on Monday, I'm including it in this weekend because this is the holiday weekend, not next weekend. And I would like to, just a little reminder here, remember when you are, if you're one of those people that likes to shoot off fireworks, remember to use the hand that you do not write with, okay, just to be on the safe side. Anyway, I'd also like to thank my subscribers for your continued support, for liking and sharing my video, and your contributions to my channel help me to grow, help it to circulate a lot more. If you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to do that. Like and share and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell and you'll be notified each time I upload something. And there's also links in the description box below. One is to my website, which I will be updating with some services that I've always offered but have not listed there because people just usually email me and ask me whatever about anything. So that's actually what you should do. Sometimes it's a lot easier, okay, to just contact me and ask me about whatever it is you're interested in. There's also a link there to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for those people who are interested in only knowing maybe one or two things about their chart. Okay, so the aspects for this week, the major aspects, okay, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries, sextile Saturn in Aquarius. On Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer squares Jupiter in Aries. And on the same day, Venus in Gemini sextiles Jupiter in Aries. On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius. And also on the same day, Mercury in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. So, let's get to your week. Hi, Taurus. On Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries in your 12th house, sextiles Saturn, transiting in your 10th house of Aquarius. So, you know, your 10th house is your house of your livelihood, your career, how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally, but it's your most public house, okay? Having Saturn here means that you're making a slow but steady climb to the top. It's not been easy, though. Having this planet here makes you really work for it. Sometimes it puts a person like in your way, usually a higher up, who's afraid of you maybe taking their place, something like that. Having Mars in your 12th house, though, kind of along with Jupiter is there also, but having that combination of Jupiter and Mars together right now means that you are planning behind the scenes, possibly in secret, to do just that. Maybe overtake someone's position. Maybe you're more qualified. Maybe you are just that, more experienced, more qualified. So you could be in talks with someone. There could be someone helping you behind the scenes. That's what the Jupiter placement does, is it does have someone, maybe even unknowing to you, that someone is helping you. Okay, so you know, you could be making some kind of move right now in regards to your career or even your public status in some way. Okay, that's very beneficial. When Mars moves into your first house, maybe you'll like spring it on the world or whatever, but right now you're acting in confidence. On Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 3rd house squares Jupiter transiting in your 12th house of Aries. And on the same day, Venus in Gemini in your 2nd house sextiles Jupiter in Aries in your 12th house. So very nice transits, actually. Sextile from Venus in your 2nd house of income to Jupiter, and then the Sun just squaring Jupiter. Not a big deal. Any transits to and from Jupiter, it's the same thing with Venus, are never really bad. Okay, so again, there's someone helping you financially, even having Venus in your second house of how you earn your money, earned income, just means that you're doing just that. You may have a new source possibly coming in, or someone is letting you in on something or other. Could even be, you know, because it is the Sun in your third house, a neighbor or someone in your area, possibly even a business person in your area, letting you know that something is coming along to the neighborhood that will put you in a pretty good position if you act on it now. Okay. This also, I just have to say, because Jupiter is involved, Jupiter does govern long distance travel. There's a possibility that you just actually may be traveling, having the Sun in your third house of local travel, just a few hours away or overnight or for a few days or something like that. It's a possibility. On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your 12th house squares Pluto transiting in your 9th house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your second house trine Saturn in your 10th house of Aquarius, and also squares Neptune in Pisces in your 11th house. So we've got your 9th, 10th, and 11th house here being affected, which is actually pretty good. A 9th house where you have Pluto is the natural, Sagittarius is the natural ruler of this house, and Jupiter is the natural ruler of this house also. So I would have to say, as far as like a sudden opportunity to travel may come up. Okay, it could be work related even, you know, or to learn something possibly for work, or it could be just something that you've always wanted to know that you feel will put you in a better position, not even just necessarily professionally, but personally. It will enhance your reputation in some way. A lot of this is happening possibly behind the scenes. But, you know, you have Venus and Mercury both in your second house of how you earn your money and earned income. So it looks to me like it's like possibly doing a side job or doing something maybe in secret. You may even be looking for another job. So maybe you're could be traveling possibly to interview for a new position. Or maybe even just you're like working on the side, but you're not letting anyone know about it. You have some kind of side job. Maybe you're actually working for a competitor even. Okay. Or interviewing with a competitor. Okay. So for Leo, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries in your 9th house, sextiles Saturn, transiting in your 7th house of Aquarius. Having Jupiter in your 9th house, it's the natural ruler of the 9th house, and it does bring about the desire, at least, to travel. Okay, take that dream vacation, travel to another country, maybe even learn another language, possibly. Okay, but right now with the sextile to your 7th house, where you have Saturn transiting, right now looks like you are possibly, 7th house is close relationships and agreements, arrangements of some kind. So this could be like a partnership with someone, or even just a verbal, possibly a written contract with someone that could be, it's being put in writing. Let's see here. With Mars in your 9th house, it does kind of make you want to make it legal or something, or you're really looking out for your best interest and your own interest. So you may be the one trying to get, you know, something in writing, or something definite from a partner that could be like really hard to deal with. Maybe that's why you're trying to get something definite. You know, maybe they are offering you some kind of trip, you know, or they're agreeing to go with you on a trip, and this is, you know, you have to plan ahead, you have to pay ahead, so it's going to cost you some money, or maybe they're even saying that they will pay for it, something or other. It could even be a class, okay? Ninth house is also the house of higher learning, even learning languages, but again, just having Mars here, it is pulling out the wanderlust in your soul. You know, you really want to take off somewhere, so I would have to say that, you know, if it is with a romantic partner, that's one thing, but if it's with a business partner, it seems to me like you want to get something in writing, such as the business is paying for your trip, or whatever, whatever you're going to encounter. Okay, on Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 12th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 9th house in Aries. And on the same day, Venus in Gemini in your 11th house sextiles Jupiter, transiting in Aries in your 9th house. So, very nice transits, actually. You know, again, having the Sun in your 12th house of confidences and secrets. This is your time of, this is like your alone time when the Sun is here. When you're preparing for when the Sun moves into your first house, you're taking a bit of a breather. But both of these transits are to Jupiter in your 9th house. Okay, so I'd have to say that it's going along with anything long distance. Okay, long distance communications, travel. This is also the house of media and publishing. It is an internet house. Having Venus in your 11th house of friends and associates. Also, your most sociable house. It's social media. You could be just like in touch a lot more with people who live in another part of the world, okay, or from a different culture than yours. I would have to say that, you know, you could be have been making plans possibly since Jupiter entered Aries in May to take that dream trip, or some kind of, it could be a class, okay, but you may travel though just to take this class. It's something that you want to see or do in person. Okay, on Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your 9th house squares Pluto transiting in your 6th house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 11th house trines Saturn in your 7th house in Aquarius. And also on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 11th house squares Neptune transiting in your 8th house of Pisces. So what we have here is your 6th, 7th, and 8th house happening with your 11th and your 9th. So the first thing, the square from Mars to Pluto in your 6th house of like the workplace and the kind of work that you do. Usually when this happens here, because Pluto's been here for a really long time in your 6th house, so it kind of means that how you do your work, or the kind of work that you do, has altered or changed in some way or other. Your whole job description has changed in some way. If you are still working, if you don't work at all, there's still some way that you are like maintaining an income, okay? With Mars in your 9th house of knowledge, higher learning, your philosophical and outlook on life, your opinions, your everything, it looks to me like you, again, usually, because like I said, Pluto's been in your 6th house for a while, and there's planets in your 9th house squaring here, which happen quite often. You seem to feel that you know a lot more than your co-workers, and most of the time you do. That you're going to do your job your way. You're not really going to listen to what they have to say, or do whatever it was you were told because you feel it's incorrect, or you're not being given enough information to go on. Okay. Now with the trine to Saturn in your 6th house from Mercury in your 11th house, just brings about your 11th house being like your friends and socializing and even networking, or even like being out in in public, seeing your friends, and going to public places to, see large groups of people and stuff, is like giving you new contacts, new people to make even possibly a new really good friend that you could become partners with. Possibly they could just end up being a close friend, but they could be a romantic interest possibly, or even I really don't see you going into business for yourself just yet. You never know, you might. So they could end up some kind of partner in a way, or actually like probably just a close friend. With Mercury squaring Neptune in your 8th house, okay, from your 11th house of Gemini, we're back to, this happens all the time because Neptune has been in your 8th house for a really long time, that you may have people just like wanting you to do stuff, and everything you do costs money. In fact, you could have one of your friends try to talk you into paying for something or signing up for something. It could even be like an organization that you belong to. They're telling you have to, I don't know, pay dues or something like that, or something's coming up that needs to be prepaid. And it could even be, we're back to that trip thing again, where it could be a group trip where I don't know, you're not even sure if you want to go, but you're kind of being railroaded into it. Okay. For Sagittarius, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries in your 5th house, sextiles Saturn, transiting in your 3rd house of Aquarius. So having Mars along with Jupiter right now in your 5th house means that this is a pretty active house for you. 5th house of fun, romance, and creativity. Whatever it is that you're doing, I think you're keeping it local with the sextile to Saturn in your 3rd house of your neighborhood, your immediate area. This is, the 3rd house is also an internet house, and the written word, if you are working on anything that's creative at this time, especially if you have a website or like a YouTube channel or something like that, it looks like it's getting the attention it needs, because having Mars in sextile to Saturn gives you the ability to stick with something no matter how tedious it is. Okay, so excuse me, even if you have writer's block, you'll leave it and then go right back to it. Okay, on Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 8th house squares Jupiter, transiting in your 5th house of Aries, and on the same day, Venus in Gemini in your 7th house sextiles Jupiter and Aries in your 5th house. So it looks like, Venus in your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships, and the Sun in your 8th house of shared resources, okay? Also other people's resources and money, stuff like that. But to me, it looks like a partner wants you to do something with them that is fun, obviously. Excuse me. Having Jupiter in your 5th house of fun, right? You can never have too much fun. So I believe that they're trying to get you to do something, to go somewhere with them, or it could be even a collaboration to get you in on some kind of project, but it looks like they're paying your way, okay, or they're offering to pay your way. If this is a romantic relationship, they're just doing that because for the sake of romance, okay? But if it's for creative reasons, they're going to offer to pay for whatever it is that you're doing. Obviously you would expect that, right? But I mean, they're willing to pay you right now. Okay. On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your 5th house squares Pluto, transiting in your 2nd house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 7th house trines Saturn, transiting in your 3rd house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 7th house squares Neptune, transiting in your 3rd house of Pisces. So we have these, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th houses being affected, okay, by Mercury in your 7th house in Gemini, and then just Mars in Aries in your 5th house, which is actually not too bad. All it is square to Pluto in your 2nd house just means that It's probably not a good idea to take any risks right now with your money, or you are not able to do that very thing that you wanted to do. It's some kind of plans possibly that you had that you wanted to do that cost money, obviously, to have fun, okay? The trine, though, from Mercury in your 7th house of partnerships and close relationships to Saturn in your 3rd house, I'd have to say, though, that's some kind of verbal or even written agreement or arrangement, okay? 7th house is contracts. It's also lawyers. It's 3rd house is the written word. Also contracts, okay? So I think somebody's trying to talk you into something. Trying to get you to, I don't know, see their side or the best side. They're really building it up. They're really possibly giving you a snow job, because on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 7th house squares Neptune in your 4th house of Pisces, okay? So your 4th house is like your property, your home, but it's also your personal life and your family, okay? So I think somebody, could possibly be a relative even, that through this whole thing that is trying to get you to agree to something, okay? Trying to get you to make some kind of arrangement, and they're trying to make it like kind of permanent, a permanent thing, not something that's only done one time, you know, something that's an ongoing agreement, okay? I, for one, I wouldn't agree to anything right now if I were you. You have a lot of options, so if someone's pressuring you, that's a sign to never agree to it. They're desperate, okay? But you're not. Okay, so for Pisces, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries in your 2nd house, sextiles Saturn, transiting in your 12th house of Aquarius. So Mars and Jupiter together in your 2nd house of earned income means that, boy, you've more than likely got it coming in. It's not like bombarding you, you know, but it is a steady flow, hopefully, of income, you know, from some form, regularly your normal everyday job, or if you don't work at all, whatever your income is, you know, retirement or something or other, but there's a new source of income opening up, okay? Now the sextile to Saturn in your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes actions taken by you or someone else, I'd have to say that you're not letting anybody know about this, and you probably shouldn't, because in your case it seems like people always have ideas for you, like what they're going to do with your money, what they're going to do with your resources, what they're going to do with you, you know, without even asking you. They seem to think that you're a pushover, you know, and that they can get you to do anything that they want you to, and nothing could be further from the truth. So just avoid people like that. They don't need to know your business anyways. Okay, on Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 5th house squares Jupiter, transiting in your 2nd house of Aries, and on the same day, Venus in Gemini in your 4th house sextiles Jupiter in your 2nd house of Aries. So, you know, square from the Sun in your 5th house of fun and romance and gambling and entertainment of any kind, you know, to Jupiter in your 2nd house. I think you can afford it. You can afford to do something fun. Usually that's what this is you know, trying to debate on whether or not you should spend the money to do something that could be frivolous or not unnecessary, but it's fun. Yeah, do it, okay? Venus in your 4th house of your personal life, in your home life, in your family is saying just that. The sextile to Jupiter in your 2nd house of earned income, money, period, means that, yeah, you should have a little fun. Maybe even you are having people come to your home, or you're going to their home. It could be a party, outdoor barbecue kind of thing, or it could even be the fact that you are purchasing like a big ticket item, like a swimming pool, okay, that the whole family can enjoy, right? On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your 2nd house squares Pluto, transiting in your 11th house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 4th house trines Saturn in your 12th house of Aquarius, and on the same day again, Mercury in your 4th house of Gemini squares Neptune in your 1st house. So we've got your 11th, 12th, and 1st house being transited here by these aspects, okay, by Mars in Aries in your 2nd house and Mercury in Gemini in your 4th. So none of these are like, you know, the square from your 2nd house to of Mars into Pluto in your 11th house is again the whole money thing, you know, and do I want to spend money having you know, going out with my friends or socializing or, you know, paying for something like some kind of event to see in person, like a live band or something like that. Do I really want to do that? It's just like a debate. You probably don't need to do it. With the Mercury trying to Saturn in your 12th house from your 4th house, it does mean that maybe you have something nice going on that you're going to do or you have already done in some way that helped to secure your family or your property or your home in some way. You may have been making improvements to it, even little ones that enhance its value, you know, but it also makes your home nice and comfy for you, okay? Now with a square from Mercury in your 4th house to Neptune in your 1st house is we're back to kind of like family and home life and stuff like that. Not a big deal. Not really a very big deal. Just that somebody that you live with, that could be family, could be a roommate or something like that, could try to talk you into doing something. I think they're going to try to talk you into, I don't know, having a party or buying something pretty big for your home. Okay, could be for you though. I mean, maybe you could just do it, buy yourself something for yourself. But it just, to me, it looks like somebody may be trying to get you to just, I don't know, foot the bill for something. But I don't think they're going to be able to talk you into it.